Welcome back to day 2 of the used PC parts hunting in LA. And yesterday, if you guys haven't seen it already, I'll put the link up here. We scored some pretty big deals. Today, we're lining up a few different deals. Some of them promises from yesterday, but already I've scored a GTX 1050 for $80. So I'm gonna go pick that up pretty soon. But then after that, we're going to go later into the evening, hopefully be picking up that i5 6400 system with DDR4, 2TB hard drive, motherboard, cooler and all that jazz for $180, as well as picking up a 1050 Ti for $100. This will pretty much complete everything, but I also still need to go hunt for possibly another power supply and a case. So we're going to hit the road right now, get that 1050, and then see what's after that. So we just picked up a GTX 1050 for $80 while we're on the road, and it's pretty good value at that price. It's not the best price, but it's certainly far from the worst. And of course, if I'm putting together some cheap PCs, something like this will always come in handy, especially at the right price. And considering we've got those OEMs with their built-in power supplies that you'd really want to reuse, especially when we're paying $35 for a power supply. So that kind of adds value when you get something that you can just quickly fit in and it works and it's good to go. And from here on in, I'm meeting up with a viewer. Actually 2 years ago, I first met up with him when I was in the US for the first time. His name is Vic, and we're gonna go grab a bite quickly, and then after that, we might go hit up some more deals. But it's crazy, in the winter here, it gets dark so early, like 5 o'clock it starts getting dark. So we've got a little bit of an update here. We're just about to eat some burgers at Troy's. Vic recommended that they make really good burgers here, so we're gonna have a feed. And we're lining up a GTX 1080 for $266. It's on an application called OfferUp, and apparently that's a really good way to get deals. But besides that, we are picking up the deal on that i5 6400 later today, and that's coming through. We're gonna meet the guy at 7 p.m. and they've said that they will meet up and take the offer of $180. So I'm super keen to go get that deal. Then straight off, we're gonna pick up the GTX 1050 Ti. But in terms of the GTX 1080, I'm not too sure how that's gonna go down because the guy does live at Riverside, and that's really far from anywhere in LA itself. So regardless, we're gonna go pick up that PC right now and see what's inside. I'm really curious about it. Then we're quickly gonna smash this down beforehand.
This time around, when the time's right and I'm not alone.
So we just ended up getting this deal for the i5 6400. That was the one that I really wanted to pick up. And we got that for $180 cash. There's also some really good news with that, but I gotta wait until the guy bought it off gets back to us, because if it all goes well, and we could get like a super mega deal out of that. So keen to hear back from that. But at the moment, there is a case with some LED fans on it. We're gonna pick that up for $35. So that's looking pretty good because it's right near where we're staying. But the GTX 1050 Ti, the guy hasn't got back to us yet. So I'll see if I can pick that up maybe tomorrow, because it's all like pretty far. Like LA's one big city. But we'll go get that case right now. That looks like the best option. So we just got back to the hotel now, and this is the $35 case that we picked up. It's got tempered glass on the front, tempered glass on the side, and 3 red LED fans. Honestly, it feels like it's a really good case. I'm really happy with this for the money I paid, because it's pretty much brand new. I don't think they've even used it before, as it's got the stickers still on it. But moving over to the main prize here, this is the Acer desktop that we picked up just before. And this has got an i5 6400 in it. So it's got a nice 6th gen quad core. It's got a single stick of 8 GB of RAM. So we could upgrade this to a 16 gig system. But the best thing about this case is, since it is an Acer OEM, and you know with some OEMs, you can have a lot of trouble if there's proprietary connectors. There's actually no real proprietary connectors here. They're even using an FSP power supply. So we can take this power supply out of this case and use it over there for that build with the half. So we've got two different builds kind of getting pieced out here. But quickly going over this case stills, we've got USB 3 front out, we've got two SATA ports, so we'll be able to use the 2TB hard drive as well as an SSD in this build, and we've got front audio out and included Wi-Fi too. So really not bad going for the money. One thing I'll have to be careful of is to also pull out this sensor when I ditch the case, because if you don't pull out the sensors, sometimes you can get error messages and things don't work properly. So we'll pull that out as well, but really happy overall with the deals we've got so far. If I had to piece this together, we're gonna have a absolute beast with a 1070 Ti, SSD, new power supply, Corsair cooler, i5 6400, and 8 GB RAM, 2TB hard drive, all for about $520 so far. I'm just considering maybe putting in another 8 GB of DDR4 memory, maybe an i7, and spicing things up to pretty much make it like kind of high end for a budget. So that's one thing I'm still gonna think of. This one here is really straightforward. This one I'm thinking of calling this the LA Bang Job or the LA BJ. This is got a $20 half case, $55 rig, and we can reuse the hard drive and then put in today's GTX 1050, and we'll have a whole system here for $155. So this will be a really good budget PC that we'll put together and show you guys very soon. So here we are at a close with day 2, and I'm really happy because we got two builds getting pieced out, one which is a definite go ahead, the other which I'm still a little bit conflicted about. Day 3 will maybe home in on an i7 and perhaps an extra 8 GB of RAM, because we still hopefully have the choices. I will have to check that BIOS if it can be updated to support the next generations, for instance the i7 7700, but so far so good. I mean, this is a build that is looking like it's going to be high end thanks to that $35 case. Even though we didn't pay a whole lot for it, it actually looks really high quality. We've got a 1070 Ti, a decent power supply, SSD, hard drive, everything's there. So if we add another 8 GB of DDR4, add an i7 6700, then it'll just really complete that build in my opinion, make it something special, make it something pretty much high end, especially since I know how to overclock that 1070 Ti and make it practically a 1080. But if you guys can let us know in the comment section below, what do you think you'd like to see me do? Would you like to see me upgrade it or just keep it as is and go with the i5 and 8 GB of RAM? Because that's ready to go. So we've got two builds that are definitely coming while we're on the road hustling. But other than that, today we didn't do a whole lot because I did do a bit of sightseeing. I did see a friend, Vic, who was actually on a different application, OfferUp. He reckons that's the whole go in LA for getting pretty good deals. I was telling him about Facebook Marketplace, and pretty much that's the only app that I've been on so far getting deals. I have looked through Craigslist, but they haven't been as good as the Facebook Marketplace. And so if I'm getting all these deals on Facebook Marketplace, I don't really need to hop across to OfferUp or Craigslist just yet. But for this 6700, I may be just doing that, seeing what I can get, and also that extra 8 GB of DDR4. I just have to keep on the lookout for those two upgrades. Also did a bit of retro console games hunting, some of the games that I grew up on as a kid. There's this really cool place called Game Dude. That's where everyone seems to go to get. And all that aside, LA's just been an absolute blast right now. I've just been driving around, having a lot of fun. The 1050 Ti, it was a little bit late, so we'll probably go pick that up tomorrow. While we're up that way, we might see another friend. Just depends on sort of organizing the times and the maps, because LA is such a huge city. I didn't realize how big this place is until you start driving around all these different places. And when you kind of accept a deal here, I guess you kind of got to consider which part of LA that person's from. Because for instance, Vic was looking for the GTX 1080 on OfferUp, but when we looked at the distance, it was literally over 2 hours away, still within LA. It was like pretty much on the way going to Vegas. So maybe when we're going to CES, we might stop off and get that deal if it's still available. I'm not too sure just yet. But this is what hitting the road is all about. You guys, you said in the comments before, just drop me in a jungle and I'll have a gaming PC ready. And that's pretty much what's going on, man. I just drop me anywhere and I'll figure out what the locals are selling their stuff via, piece stuff together, mix and match, because the synergy we got from the budget PC was that we're able now to pull out the FSP power supply and use that in the budget rig, and that's gonna fit in the half really well. So that $155 PC, stay tuned for that, because it's gonna be some of LA's finest. Anyway guys, hope you enjoyed day 2 of the PC parts hustling. If you did, then be sure to hit that like button. I do have to edit these videos out and it does take quite a while as well. But day 3, we'll see what's going on. If I don't end up picking up any of these pieces, then I will just go ahead with the builds and you'll see a build out on the channel. Not too sure what I'll do yet, as mixing and matching everything, doing the hustling, editing the videos and trying to enjoy myself. It's just always full on. But I guess that's what 2018 was like. 2019 is going to be nothing different. So stay tuned and I'll catch you in the next one. Also let us know in the comment section below what your favorite deal was thus far, and I'll see you very soon. Peace out for now. Bye.